Ese gatito naranja. Me recuerda un poco a Akito. Chicos, chicas, ¿cómo están? ¿Qué os cuenta la vida? Aquí Vampire con un nuevo video para el canal. Esta vez estamos en otro episodio más de Genshin Impact. En nuestro episodio anterior hemos aprendido un montón acerca del caso de Calas, el deshonesto, quien por si no saben es el padre de Navia, quien lamentablemente ha fallecido, o bueno, lo han hecho fallecer porque él quiso defender su honor en un duelo de pelea, así todo bien pelea, y bueno, terminó muerto por ahí, ya que lo habían inculpado por el caso de un asesinato de un informante, que justamente es lo que vamos a hacer ahorita. Vamos a investigar un poco más a fondo ese caso, mientras el gato que he llamado Akito va a estar allí. Está color naranja colored, por eso le puse ese nombre. Pero el caso es que vamos a dirigirnos justamente a la familia de Jack, que es la víctima de todo esto, que es lo primero que hacen justamente en las series de investigación, hablar con los familiares de la víctima, que es un patrón que se ve mucho en esa clase de series. Ahí están Arele y... no me acuerdo del otro nombre, no leí bien. Excelente.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss.
Coraline.
Do you need anything from us?
Sí.
Oh,
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
No la molestemos.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
¿Podrían explicarlo?
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Calas came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
No morder la mano de quien nos da de comer.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Alguien ordenó a Jaques a asesinar a Calas.
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Calas had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he...
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Esta conversación la tuve con mi amiga Nicole. Shout out a Nicole cuando han encerrado, dictado sentencia a Fujimori, un expresidente que ha hecho cosas buenas y cosas malas, pero lo estaban juzgando por las cosas malas que hizo. Va a ser doloroso lo que voy a decir, pero hacer todo por tu hijo o tu hija es el mayor sacrificio que una persona puede hacer.
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword, he must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Al fin y al cabo, yo no tengo espada y escudo, porque la pluma es más fuerte que la espada. Testimonio de la familia de Yaques. La familia de Yaques cree que él había recibido la orden de asesinar a Calas, lo que lo puso en un gran aprieto. ¿Quiere decir eso que Calas lo mató en defensa propia? ¿O acaso aún hay algo más por descubrir? Muy bien, hablemos con Florent, que si mal no me equivoco...
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects
Uno de los
next.
sospechosos.
Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Sí, vamos a hablar con Florent, que es uno de los consejeros principales de lo que es la organización de Espina de Rúsula. Y también un buen creador en Geometry Dash, en serio. La verdad es que es uno de mis top creadores. Bueno, ni siquiera es top 10, es top 15, top 20, algo así. Pero me encantan sus niveles por lo coloridos que son. Soy bien fanático de esa clase de niveles que son monocromáticos, algo así. Y creo que Florent es el que hace ese mejor estilo. Me he estado jugando uno con sus niveles porque tengo ahorita la meta de pasarme todos los hearts que tengo pendientes antes del inicio de la 2.2. Cosa que duro que vaya a hacerlo porque son un chingo de niveles que tengo que pasarme. Pero los de Florent sí son bastante buenos. Y no sé si es que va a terminar esto regresando al juego cuando todo se haga dicho y hecho el tema de la 2.2. Pero me agrada bastante sus niveles. Eso es todo lo que tengo que decir.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth.
Charlotte!
It'll be all the talk.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Calas was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table.
Calas estaba borracho. Prosigue.
After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after?
Como en Colombia.
My first reaction was that Mr. Calas's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Calas was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Calas had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person.
O podría haber agarrado otra arma.
About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into
Es
water?
probable.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Pero ¿por qué agarraría un arma? O sea, si él no ha disparado, si él no ha matado a nadie, ¿por qué agarraría el arma de la persona? A menos de que haya forcejeado con Jacques al momento de que éste intentase eliminarlo de la existencia, no veo otro motivo por el cual Claro.
Now I understand.
Tenía que poner referencia de Danganronpa antes de irme al cuadernito de color negro. Tenemos que ha habido una pelea entre Yaques y Calas al momento de estar forcejeando, porque Calas Yaques ha ido en plan voy a matarte, bro, y pues han estado forcejeando. Durante ese forcejeo se oyó un disparo. Es el primer disparo que no le dio a nada, pero de allí el siguiente disparo fue de seguro de otra persona, una tercera persona que quiso hacer el trabajo porque sabía que Yaques no lo haría, y Yaques o se ha sacrificado o el Calas ha usado a Yaques como escudo humano, y pues la tercera persona inmediatamente se convirtió en agua, dejando solamente sus ropas allí, y pues ahí es donde tienes a Calas agarrando la pistola de Yaques. Creo que so far es lo que pienso que ha sucedido.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Calas ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other
Ya
guys?
lo dije, estaba forcejeando, salvándose.
But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Calas's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing, the whole Calas the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Calas, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Calas's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Muy bien, testimonio de Florent. Florent, el consejero superior de Spina di Ursula, afirma estar muy agradecido con Calas por su amabilidad. El día del suceso, él también estaba presente en el banquete y puede corroborar que Calas no llevaba consigo ningún arma aquel día. Siguiente sospechoso, Thierry, que ni siquiera es jugador de Yere. Hay uno que se llamaba Tigrisek, me acuerdo, que tenía un estilo bastante decorado. ¿Dónde está Tigri? Está por otro lugar, vale. En este caso, transición de Long Order.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Hey, el nombre de Calas tal vez esté manchado, pero el de Navia se está construyendo bajo su propia escritura.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Calas did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city.
El voice actor de Thierry de verdad tiene un francés bastante marcado.
Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Podría decirse.
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
I mean, yo desapruebo un poco eso, pero estamos en un videojuego, así que como que me da igual.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city.
Yeah.
So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Navia, creo que eso no es una manera correcta de preguntar, pero yo no soy quien cuestionar para el guión, aunque también puede ser de que puedan fabricar los mecha, gendarmes, lo que sea, sin el número de serie, y ya de por sí mandar órdenes.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling
Eso
them.
estoy aprendiendo a las malas.
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford.
Tiene todo el sentido del mundo. Es más, tendría sentido por qué han decidido gastar en megabots. Porque esos robots pudieron haber utilizado para eliminar a Calas. Y, un momento, me olvidé. Ya, ahora sí. Pudieron tranquilamente mandar un robot a que elimine a Calas de la ecuación. Pero mandaron a una persona real, de carne y hueso, que es Jacques, para que haga esa labor. ¿Por qué lo hicieron? De seguro para poner a prueba a Jacques o para eliminarlo y hacer un malabarismo total para eliminarse de Calas. De seguro porque Jacques ya no les iba a ser de utilidad. Está sonando a policía. Eso es una buena señal de que estoy en lo correcto. Anyway, cuando nosotros estuvimos en la fuente, cuando hemos salvado a Navia, entre comillas, de ser disuelta, pues ellos, justamente los hueones que están dentro de la wea esta de narcotráfico, de agua, primigenia, pues se dieron cuenta que nosotros, quién no somos nosotros en realidad, y por eso mandaron un ejército de mechabots para deshacernos de nosotros. Porque saben que la labor de deshacerse del prota, de Aether, es algo que no puede hacer un ser humano común y corriente. Aunque también pudieron haber intentado disparándonos, pero I guess que la lógica del guión se hubiera ido al carajo con eso, así que decidieron ir por la otra opción. Así que sí, tiene eso todo el sentido del mundo, pero aún así hay algo que no cuadra, y es el hecho del disparo.
It's all coming together.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation.
La gente como yo no necesita suerte.
I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Sigo sospechando de Terry, by the way. Información de Thierry. Hace tiempo que Thierry es el responsable de la comunicación oficial entre Espina de Rusola y la Guardia de Fontaine. Según él, solo alguien verdaderamente pudiente podría estar en posesión de semejante cantidad de gendarmes. Voy a tener que acostumbrarme a decir esto porque no voy a decir megabots a cada rato. Ahora tenemos que hablar con Marcel, que justamente queda aquí cerca.
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Tras esperar un poco, Marcel llega apresurado.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive.
Es que por algo mi padre me ha entrenado viendo series criminalísticas.
To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're
Correcto.
investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea.
Básicamente saben que nosotros existimos y estamos en contra de ellos.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Calas sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabriere will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Dices hasta el último Mora, ¿no es así? ¿Cuántos Moras tienen?
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more, see if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Calas' patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
No necesariamente. Información de Marcel. Marcel es el director de la cofradía Cabriere y la persona que organizó aquel banquete hace años. Además, Spinaro Ursola siempre ha mantenido una estrecha colaboración con la cofradía Cabriere. Aunque los recuerdos de lo ocurrido están algo borrosos, está decidido a proteger a Navia. Siento que él es el culpable. Él es el impostor. Creo que él es el impostor. Tiene casi todos los insumos para hacer lo que ha hecho. Estoy un 90% seguro que eres tú, Marcel. Pero reorganizaré un poco las pistas para ver si de verdad mi razonamiento es innegable. De indeseable a innegable. Cody Rhodes. Tenía que decirlo. No, pero en serio, de verdad pienso que es Marcel, porque tiene los fondos para empezar.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
No me pareció que ninguno fuera el culpable. A Eder, tú estás pendejo, ¿no?
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start?
Por el móvil de Yaques. ¿Qué es lo que lo motivó a cometer lo que hizo?
Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Calas probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
Un clásico.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Pero, ¿para qué?
Oh? And why is that?
¿Matar a Calas garantizaba la seguridad de su familia?
Ooh, that's a good point. think. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Exacto.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father.
La tercera persona fue el detonante de todo, la organización a la que pertenecía Jacques.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well.
Claro, ¿por qué no mandaron un mecagendarme para asesinar a Calas?
It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
O que sabía que nosotros estábamos implicados.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since... but who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Marcel, estoy diciéndolo desde hace rato. Marcel.
Marcel?
Él tiene la plata.
My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number
Tiene
of
más de lo que tiene mi
projects.
universidad, por Dios.
Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques.
Ajá.
And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child.
Navia, te estoy diciendo, de verdad, no el chiste de que hayan tenido un informante en Espina de Rusola es para que se gane tu confianza y ellos tengan la posibilidad de estar un paso delante tuyo. Por ende, hay que eliminar a Marcel antes de que él nos elimine a nosotros.
Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
No es otra persona, es fucking Marcel. A ver, de seguro esto es cosa de Lore. De seguro esto es cosa de Lore y por eso me dijeron de que no es él. Así que vamos a ir con Thierry, ¿ok?
Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Navia, todo el build-up que me han hecho en antes para que tú cayeras bien, por lo menos para mí, ahorita lo estás perdiendo con las conclusiones lógicas que estás teniendo.
Yeah, had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory.
Duró bastante que los guardias van a decirnos la verdad.
If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Dios mío, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Ya, es Florent, es el creador de Geometry Dash. O sea, el que crea creaba niveles de Geometry Dash. Ese güey es Florent.
Florent?
Estoy suscrito a su canal, by the way. Hace mucho que no sube nada. Creo que hasta lo borró.
And thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security. So he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
Si mi fuerza fuera de triple, yo lo hubiera atravesado con mi cabeza. Así de desesperado ahorita estoy.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly.
Ya pues, es Marcel, estoy diciendo. ¿Cuánto tiempo voy llorando? ¡Es Marcel! Te estoy diciendo que es Marcel, maldita sea.
Who could it be?
Marcel. Creo que... Vale. Música de Saitorn. No, de Tangaropa entonces. Bien. Florent, consejero superior Espina Rusola, afirma que está muy agradecido, bla bla, testimonio de familia Jacques no podemos usar, o sea, no puede ser Jacques. Información de Thierry, información de Marcel. A ver, esto de acá, no puedo usarlo. Solamente tengo los testimonios de Florent, Thierry y Marcel. Y como ya estoy diciendo desde hace tiempo, y ojalá estés escogiendo un mejor OST de Danganronpa para esta ocasión, es Marcel. Estoy diciéndolo desde el inicio. Él es el director de la cofradía Cabriere y la persona que organizó aquel banquete hace años. Por ende, es la única persona que sabía, que ha puesto el lugar, que ha puesto la comida, que ha puesto el escenario para que se dé cada uno de los hechos que han producido y desembocado en el fallecimiento de Jacques Roussel. también tiene la plata para mandar todos los mechabots necesarios del país de manera privada a eliminarnos del concepto de existencia. Así que fijo debe ser Marcel.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Thank you!
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered.
Yo sigo sospechando del otro pana.
The rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well.
El que tiene lentes de sol, ese simp, ya, yo sospecho de ese simp, pero ahorita todo está apuntando al Marcel.
The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight.
Ahorita nos van a atacar, ¿verdad?
Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Al fin y al cabo es alguien muy cercano a ti. Obviamente que va a ser él.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
La fábrica de Cinte.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now.
Eso, o probar de que dentro de la jurisdicción legal de empresas, de la cofradía esa, que no me acuerdo su nombre ahorita, esté ligada a una fábrica de Cinte. Allí sí es donde podremos saber todo.
We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
No me digas que eliminaron a Marcel del concepto de realidad.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Eliminaron a Marcel, ¿verdad?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
¿Tarcletas?
What? Is that someone you know?
Sí.
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Ajá.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
What?
It's absurd, don't you think?
A ver. Tarcleta se lleva bastante bien con las mujeres, pero con las mujeres que tienen elemento paido. Así que esas siguen existiendo en el lore del juego, así que dudo bastante que sea Tarcletas. Él podrá ser un imbécil, podrá ser retrasado mental, podrá ser un gato core de color naranja, pero nunca se llevará Lumine a la huaca de la Universidad Mayor de San Marcos.
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
Es un fatui, racismo, por eso.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Fuck, Tarcletas!
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Calas's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
Separémonos.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
Tú vas a las líneas, yo me encargaré de Tarcletas.
Just as expected of my partner.
Yeah.
Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
Tranquila, me he visto series criminalísticas, me he jugado Ace Attorney, sé lo que hago.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
Al fin apareces, tipo de lentes.
I'm ready.
Silva. ¡Silva!
Ah, Malus, Silver. When did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Arrhenius. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then!
Análisis del sospechoso. Tras poner en común la información obtenida de los megagendarmes y lo averiguado previamente, la hipótesis es que Marcel es la única persona que podría poseer tal cantidad de megagendarmes y hacer negocios con Sinte sin dejar pista alguna.
Now that Navia has set out for Arrhenius, we should also get going.
Sí.
The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
Ajá. Pero eso lo voy a hacer en el siguiente episodio, porque ahora estamos en una zona importante. Tal vez en algún punto juegue esto y no sea un no parar hasta llegar a la parte del juicio de Tarcletas. Cosa que ahorita no tengo mucho tiempo. Y pues necesito ese tiempo para hacer otras cosas importantes en la universidad. Así que si os ha gustado el video pueden darle like, compartir con un fanático de Genshin Impact. Y bueno, esto tengo Twitter para que me sigan. Y hasta aquí Vampire. Y nos vemos en el siguiente video. Ahora rótenme el OST de Club Penguin.